Oh boy, it's a video. Action, I guess. Might as well go. It's the evolution of hammocks. For me, I started here like a lot of people probably did, a basic, just heavier, sturdy hammock that happens to be a Yukon Outfitters made in Tennessee hammock. Just a little heavier and, you know, packs up a little bigger and heavier. I had a Simply Light Designs and a couple others. They're about 10 feet long. Then, you know, one ripped, and I ended up buying an ENO Sub 7 at the time. Now they're Sub 6s. Because we're going back to around like 2013, 2014. And for many years, I just could not outpace this. It's still very difficult to outpace. I've tried a couple different hammocks. Basically, the principle is an ultralight, you know, packs about the size of the palm of your hand, 5 ounces, 6 ounces hammock, a good quality insulated pad. I've just gone to the Neo Air X-Lite Women's because I like the R value and I like how my heels kind of hang off the bottom of it, but whatever, you know, it's got to be a good mummy shaped. You know, you're not stuffing a rectangle in a hammock, too long, 78-inch pad flopping out. So you got to have the right pad, but I'm saying this, I slept in this last night. It got pretty cold. This is hard to beat. Sometimes I use a quilt. One day I had to put it on the ground in California and I got real cold rolling over. So I went to a sleeping bag. And it all packs in this. I've tried a couple others, very close, at only an inch shorter than ENO, and a better system of buckling in is the button link Hummingbird. Beautiful little hammock. I definitely had this out expedition a few times. Then I tried this because I feel like, I'll show you this hammock. Hammock with a K. It's a wallaby. Got it for like $29 or $26. A weak link of all these ultralights is they don't have a system to really close them up, or I don't know, at the time I felt the quilt was a little better connected, so I just saw the thing for $29. Said I'll try it, but its problem is it's only 100-inch long. These are all 104, 105, you know, like almost 9 feet, and they work good with the pad. But everybody's like, you gotta go to a 11-foot hammock and all that, you know. And I didn't know what to do there, so okay, never even had an 11-foot hammock. We go roll into the 11-footers, and I just saw a closeout, the half zip Dutch wear half zipped, and this is my biggest. For me, my disappointment, different strokes for different folks. I've never in my life, $106, figured out how to lay in the half zipped. I can't get it comfortable. So I was like, there's got to be something wrong with this hammock or whatever. I bought the Grand Trunk Tech 11-footer. Yeah, I saw it, $13. Worked great. But I like the toggle system, you know. So I saw this in Walmart, this Kiharo, and I got the toggle. Now these are too stretchy and lightweight, so it's pretty, but I don't really use it. It stretches way down to the ground, and I can't lay in this one with the net. And going back to nets, this is worthy of mentioning too. These work good. This is a shorter hammock. Everybody's seen them. It's got the net. The weaknesses, you know, you got to put up the net or whatever, which isn't a big deal. Get some strings, but I've got one with some hoops in it. Other than that, it's a good hammock, you know, $30, $20, $36. You're going to find these all over. You got to rig up some lines. Going back, here we go. A lot of hammocks to cover. Yeah, the thing is, I found the 11-footers work good, even with the pad. I don't get so much fabric scrunching against me and making me a little colder. So especially as it gets colder out, 11-footers. So I'm like, dude, I'm going to get an 11-foot with a bug net that works. $239 buckaroos, a used war bonnet Blackbird. We're getting into where these 11 footers are on a separate pedestal. Because in my opinion, as far as a lay goes, comfort, the Blackbird might have it. It and the Superior here come close. However, I tried, this is just all recently, the last couple years, I got a 10-foot Superior too. I've tried some quilts too. I just can't. I've got a Puffle, which is about the right size for the cold, but it's just too thin. I've got a Heat, an Etsy from Steve Hazel. He gave me a good quilt, good ultralight. I know it's just a little too short and a little too thin. Just keeping trying to buy quilts over and over isn't working for me. Bottom quilts. So get one that works. I'm getting it down. I'm going to get one soon, another one whenever I can. I got a hammock gear bottom quilt. It's just a little too short and not thick enough. But enter the design where you can, hopefully in time and in theory, as we press companies, just put it up and zip in the hammock. Let me zoom back out this thing. That is, you hang the hammock, you unzip it, and you get in. And I've got the top cocoon coming for this. A while ago, you may see some videos with a similar looking hammock. I tested a Grand Trunk Evolution. I actually drew some stuff up and sent it to them, so I'm glad. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm sure somebody else. But I'm glad they listened if they did. Its problem is they didn't sew the bottom on right, so I sent the Evolution back, but the Grand Trunk Evolution was great to just, it's the whole sleeping bag and hammock and everything, zip in. Very comfortable hammock. Just walked on being about as comfortable as the Blackbird. I'd love to get the Blackbird going. I just cannot afford everything. Like, I've tried the hammock gear bottom quilt and some others, and it's such a diagonal lay, I can't get the quilt on very good. So Dutchware, we're going back to this. They made this netted hammock. I'm thinking about investing sooner or later in another Dutchware, because now they put a spreader pole for the net. When this sucker has the net on, you got to tie the net separate, or else it hangs in your face and some other things. Don't get me wrong, I'm picky. You can see I got a lot of hammocks here. I'm a picky hanger. But I love this on its own. The top cover, the net, needs a spreader pole. Maybe I need the Wookiee, the bottom quilt that's made to fit it. Some people it was real close between getting this 30 Fahrenheit Superior 11-footer or the Wookiee. And at the end of the day, I went back and forth with Shug a couple times, and he's like, yeah, the Wookiee, I got to tug it a couple times, blah, blah, blah. I see some of his videos, and he's like, I'm getting some good lays out of the Superior. And because I was telling him how the Blackbird, I was like, I don't know, the Blackbird might nudge out the Superior. They're all close, but these two are very comfortable hammocks. But I'm like, this is a pretty good lay, this Blackbird. You get pretty comfortable in that. But, there you go. Showed the hammock influencer in Sector 7. It's like, yeah, I'm getting pretty good lays out of him. I don't feel like he was lying, He's like, yeah, I'm getting pretty good lays out of these Superiors. So, all side to side, it was going to cost me close out Superior. I just, impulsive, not impulsive really. You keep an eye out for the deals. Like, well, I'll give Superior another shot. I have the 10-footer, but I just wasn't quite getting as comfortable or getting the kind of lays that I was getting out of the 11-footer war bonnet. But still, you can jump way back to this. What I'm saying to you, if you actually got to carry this in your backpack, this hammock right here, you could put the pad in it and everything and get it colder, and it's a little more comfortable down, I'm saying you can get down to freezing or a little below in this, no problem. It's just not quite as comfortable with this. So all said, You know what I'm saying? All season long. This goes in your backpack. You are not driving your Jeep to the state park and spending 4 nights on a group hang. You are train to bus to plane. You are out all summer long carrying this in your backpack. I just can't help but going back to what I got, you know? But I think the simplicity, if the cocoon works, you know, like anything like the Grand Trunk Evolution did, this will probably even take over that, even though it's a little more mass to carry, you know, and a little bit bigger trees, and you have a little bit bigger tarp and all that. That's the other thing. The small ones, you just throw a little triangle tarp over it, or, you know, a diamond tarp over it, you're good to go. These take a little bit bigger tarps, but coming along here, oh yeah.